Babotho sekhaya ezulwini namanje ntambama siphinde siyakubonga ngamathuba amahle osenzela wona, and nanxa kunama-challenges amaningi esibhekana nawo siyazi ukuthi asikafike ekhaya. Once sabasekhaya, we will not depend on ESCO, we will not even need these evil things. Ngoba our source, our Father will be there. Ingakho sikudumisa siqala kusela. UKristu masothi umbuso wakho mawufike, intando yakho yenziwe kulo mhlaba njengoba yenziwe ezulwini. Ubonge-ke uduso dumiso manje ephakade.
Amen.
All right. We're looking at the Day of Atonement, part 2, but before we get there, I guess sithi ukwedlula kancane revision ya last week. I'll be sharing the notes with you very soon. Siyakuphi nalento? I've got some challenges abanye on the internet. They are complaining, good to know. I need to come up on the open and state where exactly my standing insofar as these things are concerned. I'm a feast. Am I saying we still need to continue with the feast even this day, or we're done away with the feast now? Sesingena kwi-new covenant. I need to be clear there. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi noma mukhathithe nawusho ngiyathi no acace sazi kahle ukuthi sime kuphi. Silana ke hlobo zami. We're saying ama-feasts as uNkulunkulu awabeka wawadalela u-Israel. By Israel, we mean the physical Israel, not the spiritual Israel. But Israel is Israel nonetheless. So, that means akanayo ke a set of rules for physical or literal or biological Israel and another set of rules for spiritual Israel. He has just one set of rules for his people. Masefika uKristu, as we said last week, he is the one who gave that law. Therefore, he reserves the right, a full right, to amend that law, or even to repeal it if push comes to shove. You can appeal it, or you can repeal it, you can amend it at any time as he wills. Now, what he has done for us, we have to be clear on this one. He amended these laws such that in our time as Sipilatina Namhlanje, we don't need to slaughter. That's the amendment. But slaughtering does not mean you don't keep the feast. Because the feast was not tied onto the animal you are slaughtering, but the obedience. Ukuthobela umthetho kaNkulunkulu, just like uAdam wayibekela umthetho kwinsimini yase-Eden ukuthi makahloniphe lo mthetho. Kwangekho nto eyayilimaza eyayibulala kulowa muthi. Into eyayibulala kwakukweqa umyalelo kaNkulunkulu. The same thing you are suggesting is happening to us. Uma singasamthobeli uNkulunkulu, now it would mean nathi-ke were done away with. Ungathi-ke usewusuka lana bosuthi no, ngizwile mina uthe umfundisi Khumalo asibuyeleni emuva siyohlaba kashongo njalo. Uthe lemkhosi now have been amended, not repealed, but amended. Kwakhishwa khona ingxenye yokuhlaba. It means, therefore, kodwa ke izipho, the gifts, iminikelo, they are still there. I heard umshumayeli namhlanje enkonzweni ethi there is a big debate over Facebook and such social media. People are debating should we return tithe or we should not. Abanye, they are saying no, away with that tithe and offerings over. Christ was our offering. You see, it has gone too far. Ingakho sithi ake sicacise ukuthi no, into engasekho applicable in our times are the sacrifices of the sheep, the goat, the lambs, and whatever, the bulls. Those are done away with, since Christ is the only true sacrifice we can ever have. I'm hoping that leyo ndawonyana is now clear and we are not going to be in trouble with it anymore. There is our agenda for today. We are done with the review of Colossians 2 verses 13 to 17. We are not going to get there again. And then our primary goal, I'm going to get into it now. After that, we'll get into the instructions about the Day of Atonement. And then we look at the garments of the high priest. And then we look into the specifics that God required at that time. Then we look at the atonement cover, what you used to know as the mercy seat. The correct name is the atonement cover. And then we look at the various translations that affirm our understanding or our new understanding. And then we look at the appearances before God. There's a little bit of a debate that we'll engage in there. Then we look at the ceremony. We'll be done for today. Let's get on with our business. As I've already stated this one and put it aside. So I think we can safely pass from it. But I'm just talking about the theologians here. But theologians, they want to say, since umthetho omusha were no longer under the law, were under grace, now it's a new covenant and all of those things, then they miss the part. I've explained this already, so I can safely go over it. Primary goals. Our goal is one, dear friends. We are saying lolu suku lomkhosi was not a shadow of anything. So if so tholile wena ukuthi this one was a shadow of what, please come and assist us. Then let's look at the instructions about this Day of Atonement. Number one, what we see there, which is the high priest, yona ayayenza umsebenzi omningi yejuluka on this day. Empeleni phela, everything centered around this high priest on this day. Now, ngize ngayifanisa lento ne-story ka-Esther. Ngikhumbula Esther nakho mawuchecka lapha no-Esther 4 verse 16 etshelwe ukuthi hayi uma ungafuni wena ukuvela enkosini with an aim ukuthi kusinde amaJuda, don't you think wena uyosinda lapha esigodlweni? Esezithi uEsther, no, akuvumelekile khona ukuthi ngifane ngiyovela phambi kwenkosi ingangibizanga. Kodwa now that you are speaking like this, I'm paraphrasing the story. Now that you are speaking like this, zilani ukudla for 3 days nobusuku bakhona ningathinti lutho, nami nama-mates ami sizozila on this day, wenza ukuthi ke ngikwazi ukuyovela laphana. If I perish, I perish. That's the last word he says there. She says there. And then We're comparing these two stories. Ukuthi umpristi wayengavumelekile ungena kwi-second apartment at any time that he feels like. Wayengangeni even ukoshanela ngoba akho ngcola okwakuba khona lapha. Wangekho ngisho dust, i-dust. So there was nothing to dust there. So wayengavumelekile ukuyongena. So umehluko engiwusho kodwa phakathi kwakhe no-Esther ukuthi u-Esther wayengenayo i-appointment, but umpristi wayengena lana nge-appointment. The appointment yayiba only once a year on this the 10th day of the 7th month, or the Day of Atonement. I'm sure sizwene lapho sengedlula. Kukhona lo mlisa ke esithi u-Avram. Abanye bathi u-Abram ngoba nakho at that time I don't want to get into the debate ukuthi ubizwa kanjani igama lakhe. Ngifunda lithi Avram, so ngizothi u-Avram ke. He says ngalolu suku umpristi omkhulu wayengagqoki leza ngubo zakhe ezimtshengisayo ukuthi umpristi omkhulu. Uthatha ngokuthi yena wayegqoka just a simple linen garments on that day. Eza athi ke yena lokho kusemfanisa umuntu uKristu wehlika washiya ubukhosi bakhe lephezulu wazofanana nathi waba kwi-level yethu, which is not true as we read laphayana Exodus 16 verse 4. La kuthi khona Aaron was commanded to bathe himself, omele abhave on this day, ebese segqoka the sacred linen to perform his high priestly duties. To us, that is not simple. Izichaza ukuthi omele mafake the underlinen, ebese esegqoka eseyibopha futhi nayo le-sash, ebese seyogqoka ne-ephod ngaphezulu, afake ne-breastplate, agqoke lesasigqoko sakhe. So wayiphelele. So ingakho ngithi ke asihambisani ncam nalo mlisa u-Avram. So asedluleke la, ake sibuke zona ke lezi ngubo uqobo lwazo. I'll be referring to them as you see them there. I'll be highlighting with a laser. Into yokuqala esibonayo is that hat. Lesasigqoko. This bizwa kuthiwa i-turban. Now, sinaloya mchilo oluhlaza olaphana. It was ordered ukuthi awube khona loya mchilo laphaya. Akuyona mistake. And kube khona leya ndawanyana ye-pure gold ebizwa kuthiwa i-plate or i-diadem, umqhele, diadem. Kulo mqhele kwakubhaliwe kuqoshwe amagama athi holiness to the Lord. Nanka ngiwa-highlightile laphana. Holiness to the Lord. Kulo mqhele. So uma eke wangena engasigqokile lesigqoko noma ungekho lo mqhele wakhe, the Shekinah glory will strike him dead right there. Wayengalenzeki iphutha. And kubhalwe ukuthi ke ngale diadem yakhe he will bear the guilt involved in the sacred gifts of the Israelites, no matter what those gifts are. Ngokugqoka lezi ngubo zakhe, then wayesethwala icala lonke elisezinikelweni ka-Israel. Whatever was being wathwala uyena. And kaphela uKristu as our high priest wethatha wonke amacala ethu. Same thing is happening now with this high priest here. All right, angizohlala kakhulu la, ngizobheka kodwa la bengithe kuma-notes enu lapho lezi ndawo mawubheka amahlombe lapha bengithe i-Urim and Thummim ngenze iphutha akusiyona i-Urim and Thummim. I-Urim and Thummim ila kwi-breastplate mawufunda kuleya ndawo Exodus 28 verses 2 to 5 yayila i-Urim and Thummim. I-decision yokuthi uNkulunkulu uyavuma noma kavumi i-correct lento noma ayikho correct yayiqhamuka la kulamatshe. Now alisinikezile kwiBhayibheli sufficient information with regard to this Urim Thummim. Abanye bathi wayiliphatha ngapha Urim ngesandla but akukho. Okay, abanye bathi wayiphatha Urim ngapha phatha Thummim ngapha but akukho lokho in the scriptures. So we discard all of that and put it away. Okubalekile ukuthi kuba khona this robe kube khona that underlinen emhlophe lapha nansi underlinen tunic there biphinzwe kwe underlinen abanye babiza ukuthi under the short pant ibhlukwana lelincane fakwa nalo laphana as begqoka bonke abantu nabesilisa bayagqoka nabesifazane these days sebegqoka ama-under abanye angishongo lutho hlobo zami but nansi i-effort and then the robe. So konke lokhu kokuthathu 1 2 3 1 2 3 and 4 kokune that constituted the holy garments. Kaphela ke lapha ekupheleni kwalezi kwenesana kwerobe kukhona leza nsimbi ezakhelwe laphana ukuthi mayinyakaza nje ikhence khence esusa unyawo khence abeka unyawo khence. So babelalele ke beguqe ngaphandle uIsrael belalele umsindo ovela kulezi insimbi. Uma usuya ngokwanda lomsindo kwakusho ukuthi lokho useyaphuma endaweni engcwele kangcwele useza endaweni engcwele uzophumela ngaphandle useza kuAzazela. Now lokhu ke sikweyamanisa ngisathi ngikusho njengamanje sikweyamanisa lokhu nama signs of the second coming as esekande eduze. That means leza nsimbi kithi seyikhala mawala seziba louder and louder, meaning that our high priest is definitely coming back. Angedlule la? Not unless ninembuzo. Now God was specific. Ngani? Lalela kahle. Le verse esikhuluma ngayo Exodus 16 verse 4 specifies that there should be an undergarment next to his body and that they were to be tied together to him by a sash. Then abeseqoka le turban yakhe abeseqoka naleya their holy garments. So we note also that the emphasis was on him ukuthi makageze umzimba wonke, hayi ageze inyawo kuphela, ageze umzimba wonke andukuba agqoke lezi ngubo ezingcwele ngoba zingcwele. Alright? Uma ulandela lama details kahleke, you'll find that verse 5 adds on, addresses something. Uthi kumele ma esegqoke kanjena aye laphana kumphakathi waka-Israel, the community of Israel, and then he should take from them 2 male goats. Ungalenzi iphutha wena bosuletha female goats here. No. It had to be male. We are trying to say God is specific. So these 2 male goats were for sin offering, and he must get from them also 1 ram for burnt offering. 2 male goats, 1 ram. So with 3 items. Lo 3 uvela after ibull ayinikele yena nomndeni wakhe. All right? Then uNkulunkulu bese ba specific about the gender of the sacrifice and the person who is sacrificing. Wayeba specific nange-gender yomuntu onikelayo ukuthi wayengeke athumele umkakhe u-Aaron, umpristikazi omkhulu. Yayingekho leyo nto at that time. Wayengeke alibeke nokuthi then khumbula abapristikazi-ke then mawuthi khona into efana naleyo babengenayo i-attire. Akekho umpristi owayeba umpristi a-officiate as umpristi engagqokile ingubo zobupristi. God was specific even nange-gender. So far, if feminism would be up on arms against us, complaining about the gender equity or equality, when God is correcting sin from its inception in the Garden of Eden. It was Adam who sinned. The responsibility yayinikezwe u-Adam wase eseyisherisha nomsizi wakhe. So if this verse were at our times, we could find people then offering any goat or sheep without a specific gender. Worse still, would find female priests officiating as it is happening even today. Aaron was then commanded to offer a bull for sin offering on his and her and his on his behalf and on his household's behalf, verses 3 and 6 law. This had to be a bull, and we believe that is this bull offering preceded the goat offerings which were on behalf of the nation. That's what we are saying. Asedluleke la. Niyabona ke masungena ngale uAvram uthi the blood of this offering had to be present in to be presented, in the Holy of the Holies with a lot of incense. Now, qaphela ke kule ndawanyana mawubheka kwi-screen lapho ilokhu ikhanya la iShekinah glory. Kumele iShekinah glory leya ndawanyana. All right? So bengilana ke hlobo zami ukuthi as you look there, yonke le Ark of the Covenant kanye ne cover yakhona namacherubi had to be covered in that thick smoke or cloud that has been formed there. Lokho kwenzela ukuthini lo mpristi, this poor human being ezovela ngaphambi kwe-divine ayingafi. Nisekhona nihlobo zami. Now ngithi mayingena la lo mpristi wayivikelwa ileya thick smoke eyenza i-cloud such that yebethikanga ukuthi yayifihla this Ark of the Covenant, ifihle leya mercy seat or that atonement cover, ifihle lama cherubi, ifihle even that Shekinah glory. Iyakhanya leya Shekinah glory yemfihla. Then uzothi wena mhlambe ngoba leya Shekinah glory yayikhanya okwedlula ilanga njena. How did that happen? Khumbula phela uyakwazi ukubuka ilanga njengoba linjalo uma kuneyinkungu eziningi. Look, if there's too thick of a fog, uyakwazi ukubuka ilanga unandi ilanga ungaqopheki. That was the same thing that was happening there. That was done just in order to protect this poor human being as ovakashela the maker, the creator of the heaven and earth here. So ngaloo ndlela siyavumelana no-Avram uma ethi leya mpepho yayikwenza ukube died without seeing God, but the moment he sees God, he would die. And khumbula, even that atonement cover yayingabukwa ngamehlo, ingathintwa ngesandla. So uma seyifihlakele even nale atonement cover, then kwakusho ukuthi lokho uphephile-ke at that time. Now, he was expected to sprinkle. Wayelindeleke ukuthi u-Aaron on this day, khumbula uqale ngaleya nkunzi ayihlabile, usengena negazi layo la. Ulenzani-ke leli gazi layo? Kwakumele malifafaze alichele ngomunwe wakhe ngaphambi kwale atonement cover esithwe yifu, akasayiboni kwayona, kodwa futhi athi alright kungaphambi kwayo-ke la, ebese efafaza leli gazi kasikhombisa. Now sizokwedlula-ke lapho, sesathe igazi lale nkunzi lalifafazwa ngaphambi, not on this mercy seat, lijwayele kanjalo, kanti kuthiwa igama eli-correct yini, atonement cover. So uma ifika lapha ya zozwa ukuthi-ke kuzokwenzakalani-ke now ngegazi ley'mbuzi asedluleke kuleli lenkunzi. Siqaphele ukuthi uverse 13 uthe le atonement cover okanye lesihlalo somusa, as we are used to it, kodwa igama eli-correct is an atonement cover. So ifihlwe le stick smoke. So masicabanga ke ukuthi ngoba isifihlwe ile ntuthu, okusho ukuthi ayisabonakali, akho akasakwazi ke ukuthi athi nansi exactly ayithinte nangomunwe wakhe. And uma kayithinta ngomunwe, he would die. Sandla sakhe, no. So i-NIV ithe yi-mercy seat. Okay, i-NIV ayishongo ukuthi mercy seat, ithe i-atonement cover. Okwehlukile kulokho kushiwa i-King James Version namanye amaBhayibheli. Ngaloo ndlela-ke u-Avram uthi leliya gama elithi mercy seat ukuhumusha ongekho semgangathweni kwalaba ababehumusha besusela kwisiHebheru beyisa esiNgisini, noma besusela esiGrekini beyisa esiNgisini. That was a poor translation as far as it calls it. The correct one is called the atonement cover. Now, we then had to check verse amabili, Exodus 25 verse 17, no Exodus 6, no Leviticus 16 verse 12. Simbheka kwinhlobo eziningi zamaBhayibheli. Nansi umphumela leyo nto esiyitholile. Laphana kwi-New Catholic Bible ithi yona i-seat of atonement. Zombili ku-Exodus 25 verse 17 naku-Leviticus 16 verse 12. The Common English Bible, CEB, ithi yona a cover of pure gold. The Common Jewish Bible, CJB, ithi yona is a cover of the ark. The Extemporaneous Bible, EXB, ithi yona it is the lead of the ark. Brackets, mercy seat, or atonement cover. Ifaka omabili. So, uqala manje ngeyona King James ifake i-mercy seat. Kanti ke authorized King James Version ithi is a mercy seat on both accounts. And in New Century Version ithi yona lead of the ark, not on the ark, lead of the ark. Kanti in New Living Translation NLT ithi yona the place of atonement. Ichaza lesasivalo esisibiza mesisithi yona it is a place of atonement. So judging from these translations, just one just had to agree with Abraham ukuthi I know. Really, mawubheka wonke lama modern translations echaza kanje, it means ikhona indaba nokubizwa kwale atonement cover. Siyedlula ke lapho nama Bible translations. Now, singena kule ndawanyana ukuthi umpristi wayengena kangaki endaweni eyingcwele kangcwele. I said to you there will be a little bit of a debate here, but it will be a guided debate. Right. Mawufunda kwi-Patriarchs and Prophets, page 349, uthi, and from between the cherubim, God made known his will. Divine messages were sometimes communicated to the high priest by a voice from the cloud. He will appear in the cloud in between the cherubim. Now, why in the cloud? Lalela phela. This is a divine. So he was condescending, he was reducing his glory in so much that he does not want to hurt his people. Otherwise, the glory would strike everybody around that camp dead because they were sinful people. So he had to appear in the cloud, and the cloud had to be in between the cherubims above the atonement cup. Uthi Ellen White, E.G. White, sometimes a light fell upon the angel at the right hand to signify approval or acceptance, or a shadow or a cloud rested upon the one at the left to reveal disapproval or rejection. That's what she's saying verbatim. Now, doesn't this trouble you? It troubles me ukuthi kanti umpristi wayengena kangaki endaweni eyingcwele kangcwele. Wayengena noma ezobuza ukuthi ubani wrong phakathi kaKhumalo noMadlanduni, abese bona le light, abese sehambe sekusho ukuthi hayi wena Khumalo wrong. No, he specified it once. Why phenye ikhetini abuke leyo nto bese siyavala ikhetini engangenanga? But that is called peeping, and the Bible alikhulumi lutho nge-peeping. So we wonder if that did not count for an appearance or the entry into the most place. Supposing that the high priest would enter as such, would not enter as such, but would simply open the curtain and peep. So that is peeping, is not recording in the Bible. So we are puzzled by the statement, sometimes light fell upon the angel. The angel phela, the cherubim, ilapha kwi-second apartment. Wayebona kanjani lapho umpriest? Ikhetini lalingekho transparent. Assuming that the light was falling on one angel on the right, how different that light was from the Shekinah glory. Le light ke yehluke ngani kwi-light ye-Shekinah glory? We don't know. We are also not sure as to what the behavior of the Shekinah glory would be. Did it disappear at times so that very light? So what was it always there? We're not sure. So we think it is safe, Mr. Wazan. We think it is safe, very safe, to take only the biblical narrative and end there. Asedluleke. Askene kwi-ceremony. Lalelani. nakule ceremony asikazongena kuyona as sexoxa nje azongena kuma details. No, azongena kuma details. But sithi halamuzi nayo. So we also noted that the Bible does not say that the blood was sprinkled on the atonement cover, but before it, verse 14. Then, to verse 14, then he shall sprinkle some of it with his finger 7 times before the atonement cover, not on the atonement cover. Remember, that is the blood of the bull, not of the goat. So this seems to make sense, as this atonement cover was hidden by then in the cloud of incense or smoke. Now Aaron has been ordered to slaughter one of the goats that came from the people and to do the same as he did with the bull. So if it is the same as he did with the bull, that means it's sprinkled before the atonement cover. But look at verse 15. Leviticus 16, verse 15, right at the end. Uti, he shall sprinkle it on the atonement cover and in front of it. On first and then in front of. Yigazi lelani laleya mbuzi, that goat ethathwe kubantu esibizwa ngokuthi wabani is the goat of gold. Remember, bezimbili lezambuzi, eyodwa yazo okunkatho kulona, mhlambe ngale Urim Thummim kampristi yasithi cha nansi kuzoba ikaNkulunkulu imbuzi ebesiyahlatshwa ke leyo. Igazi lalembuzi ke oyemele malifafaze on the mercy seat or on the atonement cover and in front of it. Verse 15. Having read this part of the verse, then one needs to retract his previous statement. It was not sprinkled on the atonement cover, but before it. That's the one we are retracting now. Verse 16 then explains the reason for the added details. In this way, he will make atonement for the most holy place. This he does, or was to be done because of the uncleanness and because of the rebellion of the Israelites. So this tent, this most holy place, had to be atoned for. That's why it consists of where atonement cover and also in front of the atonement cover. So we think we are no different than the ancient Israelites, in that we are all in need of a perfect blood and a more perfect priest to plead our cases. Go to verse 16. He shall do the same for the tent of meetings. Remember, the most holy place has to be atoned for. Now, the tent of meetings itself, that means now, even the first apartment now has to be atoned for as well. At times, the first apartment gives up a tent of meetings as well. At times. So to us, this means he shall sprinkle the blood of this goat, not any blood, but of this goat, on the tent as well. That is what we are reading from verse 16. argument ngizokunikeza yona to argue further. Avram then says, after that Aaron would place the goat's blood on all the articles of the tabernacle, cleansing each item from defilement. That's what Avram says. Now, verse 17 begins with the words, no one is to be in the tent of meetings when Aaron is doing all of this work. Akho muntu, akho mphefumulo omele ube kwi-tent of meetings. Makuthiwa tent of meetings, yileya ndawo phela lapho ekuhlala khona abapristi abancane, junior priests. Bahlanganyela la. So, this to us talks to the priests who dwelled in the first apartment and others, and from the moment the curtain or the veil is drawn apart. Uma laba bebe la kulendlu namhlanje. That would mean their glory yeshikina would strike them dead right there. Ngoba abavikelekile, abanayo leya turban naleya crown ethini holiness to the Lord. So, that's why ukuze bavikeleke, they had not to be there in person. Now, khumbula nabapostoli baka Jesu Christ kwamele abashiyela emhlabeni aye yedwa laphaya ezulwini. That to us is speaking to that. So, since the junior priests were not dressed up for this occasion, and that they have not made their special atonement like Aaron did, so they would die there. We think that is a reason enough why God specifies that no one was to be in this apartment on this day, in this tent of meeting on this day. Verse 17 further specifies that Aaron should make the atonement for the most holy place until he comes out. That means every item elapana was to be atoned for as it goes out. I don't know. Until it comes. So as far as but what does it mean? Mighty, the first apartment now had to be atoned. I mean, the most holy place had to be atoned for. Kumbula phela kukhona laphana ibhodo lemana, kukhona umqulu ophethe imithetho lona u613, kukhona nenduku kaAaron. So, mawuthiwa atone for that place, use atonile for the ark ne cover yayo. So these eseceleni nazo, I think they also had to be atoned for. I'm not sure on that one. I'm speculating. So taking Avram's thinking, then that would mean that these items too were atoned for, and that would account for the until it comes out of the verse. Then we do agree that this is pure speculation, as I've been saying, and we stand ready to withdraw it should we be challenged on this one. Next time, we hope to be looking at the sacrifices on that day, but I don't think we still need that one. I'll hear from you. Thank you, my friends. That is all for today. Talk to me now.
Mina ngiyanibingelela lokho khona la ngisale khona kancane umfundisi kodwa wasethi uyadlula esachaza la ukuthi kanye kanye wayengena kangaki wayesefunda ezinye izicaphuno ngagcina ngasakutholanga ukuyikona esiphuma nakho sikuphethe ngesandla lapha yana ukuthi sithi wayengena kangaki nalama shakana glory ekhanya nengilosi zayikhanya angizange ngisathola ukuthi siphuma nelithini mfundisi ngisacela ungikhiphe.
Okay. iBhayibheli lisitshela ukuthi wayengena kanye ngonyaka. Alishongo ukuthi wayilongoza, alishongo ukuthi makuba khona special case wakumele angene, alishongo ukuthi wayengena kanye ngonyaka lest he dies. So we'll end there. Madandoni.
Yes, bonene class. I'm sorry. Ngeke ngaphuma kancane.
Yebo.
Ngiyabonga. Njengoba umuntu efundile la ngibona role enkulu yompristi omkhulu. Umpristi omkhulu understanding umele uJesu Kristu. Ebandleni siyam-applya ukuthi indaba umsebenzi wompristi omkhulu sifaka kanjani ngoba ngizodlula kancane mfundisi indaba ukuthi njengendaba sengimhlawumbe ngimix izinto kulomsebenzi uNkulunkulu specifically kwawumuntu wesilisa wesizwe esithize samaLevi owakhethwa uyena wele bandleni applications amu-applya lento ukuthi indaba ye-Day of Atonement in summary kumaKristu masiyi-summarizer sikhuluma ngosuku lwe-judgment sikhuluma ngani ku-by context yethu ukuze-ke sihambe biblically singahambi nge-modern times okuba politically correct.
Bengithi sicacisile lapho ukuthi 1 umpristi lo ndawanyana la bengithe khona God was specific. You remember that one?
Yes, I do.
So he meant, he did not mince his words. You would not be correct ukuthi uqhamuke neyakho innovation ebese yamukeleka ngoba phela yokusufanana no Adam no Eva bayibona dino asithungele lamahlamvu ukuze sinese lesimo sethu manje wafika uNkulunkulu wathi no bekeceleni lokhu imina engizokwakhela i-covering not wena. So zonke lezi zinto ama-innovations ethu kuba theologically correct and appropriate and all of those things izinto ezifike nesitha ukuze zisidume. Kumele siphele kulokhu okushiwo uNkulunkulu sifake ungqi engomfana. I know ukuthi kuyalumela kwabanye kodwa this is all I can say. Ungathathi
Usithi kusondela kakhudlwana ke asizifaka sengicela sifake i-context yethu ke la ngoba sikhulume ngompriest onengubo yakhe eneyinsimbi ezikhalayo ukuze makwenzeka efa bakwazi umhudu loba akekho umuntu okwazi ukungena endaweni engcwele engcwele. Sesibeka ukuthi nathi udlulile lapho sesiphile la umpriest wethu uJesu Kristu sizophuma endaweni engcwele engcwele ezizolanda thina. Ngizama ukuthi apply kahle lapho ukuthi ngokwe Bible prophecy. Yes.
Asikho kuqala besithe insimbi leziya ngona ngibuyele kuzona.
Manje mina mfundisi bengisafuna ukwazi nje lapho ukuthi kuyo yonke lento njengoba siyayithola ke le Day of Atonement ukuthi kulesi sikhathi sethu ivela kanjani le Day of Atonement noma siyithatha njengokuthi iyisidlo ngoba ngempela angisayiboni mina yenzeka lapho kuthiwa izono umfundisi uyama lapha asicelele izono zethu njengoba kwenzeka ekuqaleni.
Okay. All right, ngizokathenda lokho ake sibuyele kule ndanyana nakusengisharishile iscreen senebona. Siyabonakala manje ingubo kaMpriest.
Yebo, siyebo.
Uyabona?
Alright. Ilezi nsimbi ke ebesikhuluma ngazo ezilaphana enzansi. Lezi
Yebo,
nsimbi.
siyabonga. Yeah.
Umsebenzi walezi nsimbi azinantambo aboshwe ngayo eqakaleni, as the theory goes, ukuthi umpristi uma engena lapha wayiboshwa ngentambo eqakaleni ukuze ukuthi uma kwenzeka eshona ngaphakathi adonswe ngentambo. That is not in the Bible. It's a theory yabantu. But okukhona eBhayibhelini ukuthi okukhona leziya nsimbi ezaziba laphana emphethweni we-robe yakhe, wengubo robe. I-robe kuphela eyayiba nalezi nsimbi. Lezi nsimbi zazi-indicate ukuthi usaphila nanokuthi useyaphuma yini endaweni. Yacaca?
Ngoba zazikhala.
Mayinyakaza nje zayikhala lezi nsimbi khenqe lesikhathi engena endaweni eyingcwele kangcwele baguqile bathandaza bona at that time, and bayazizwa ukuthi oh nangiya ngathi seziyancipha isound yazo. That means usesendaweni eyingcwele kangcwele. Aphefuma laphayana zikhale iy'nsimbi lesikhathi echilisa igazi ephuma. Kuyezwakala ukuthi ukhona usasincengela wena kusachilisa igazi lapha babala. Alright? Then lesikhathi esephuma zizwakala iy'nsimbi senzani seyikhala kakhudlwanyana manje. So they were indicating ukuthi useyabuya. So sesithi ke ngokwesikhathi sethu samanje lezi insimbi zimele ini ama-signs of the second coming kaKristu. The more lama-signs eqhamuka in short or in quick successions, it means lezi insimbi seyikhala louder. Yezwakala? Meaning our high priest is now coming back. Now, njoba ke sesiwabona kama-signs manje eseba usatsheni khande eduze in quick succession, then we are even more sure now ukuthi our high priest is now coming back.
Okay.
Now, qaphela lokhu ke nge-Day of Atonement. Besithe eqaleni, it means judgment. It means what? Judgment. Now, okubalekile ngale Day of Atonement kokuthi wawungalindi ukuze kufike lolu suku andukuba uvuma isono. Kwangasakusizi ukuvuma kwakho isono sekufike lolu suku. Why? Namhlanje phela umpristi usedila nezono ezivunyiwe esezivele zilapha kuyithabanikele. On this day, akamukeli izono ezintsha, fresh sins. Osuvuma manje usuyayithwalela lesi wena okade usigodlile all along kwaze kwafika lolu suku. Yezwakala?
Akuyezwakala.
Ayi balolu suku lwe-judgment. Ingakho lalibikezelwa 10 days before, and ubikezelwa nge-feast yokuqala ukuthi hayi bo iyasondela njalo i-judgment day, iyasondela i-Day of Atonement, abantu ababelungisa beyicwecwa. Make sure ukuthi before this day every T is crossed and every I is dotted. sisenesikhathi sokudlala athi into ngizofana ngizondela umadlanduna ngimzonde umadlanduna ngethemba ukuthi ngizothandaza ntambama. How do you know ukuthi asiqedile umpriest lapho kwi-most holy place? Sisenesikhathi sokudlala. That's a danger abantu abaningi abangayinaki. And they will fall victim to that danger. Okay. Sisithule bokubuza umbuzo. Angazi umadlanduna ukuthi leyo ndawanyana I know ukuthi angayi-ayini out kakhulu. But what I'm saying ukuthi into yokuqala esingakayenzi ukuthi si-acknowledge ukuthi lama feasts are still real, are still expected. And lama feast njoba ngisho ekuqaleni ngivula ukuthi lemkhosi isekhona kodwa iamendiwe indlela eyenzeka ngayo. Kube khona ukuguquka okuncane okukhona okwenziwe ngumpriest wethu omkhulu hayi yithi. Don't accuse me for that. Accuse umpriest wethu omkhulu owenze lezi nguquko. Yiziphi lezi nguquko? Ukuthi akusekho gazi lambuzi nankomo namvu na whatever okumele ngifike nalo ukuze ngithethelele isono sami. Konke kulapha kumpriest wami. Kodwa okubalekile ukuthi kusamele ngivele phambi kaJehova. That means umkhosi loyo. Inkosi. Kumele ngivelile. Kusamele nginikelile namhlanje yize ngasanikeli ngani ngezimvu nenkomo namagazi azo. So iminikelo, as I did say, amabandla ethu asarana ngayo iminikelo kodwa no longer of what? Goats and sheep and whatever. That's the amendment that has been done on the feasts. Uma uyithatha wena yonke lemkhosi uyibethele esiphambanweni, then izohamba kanye neminikelo yayo. Yacaca?
Kuyezwakala.
So ithatheni-ke imkhosi niyiphanyeke esiphambanweni ebese niqeda lapho nithi niye emkhosini wamadokodo. Umbuzo uthi asethulwe nini esiphambanweni? Sesithule umbuzo wakho ngicela ungiphindele wona bese sengikhohlwa ngubhala ngaphansi ngoba kumnyama la ngikhona.
Bengithe nje mfundisi manje njengoba umpriest omkhulu ayenza kanje sekwenzekani manje? Bengicabanga ukuthi mhlambe yikona lokho okade ukuchaza ukuthi njengoba ukukhala kwalezi insimbi kukhombisa khona ukuthi umpriest omkhulu seseduze ukubuya.
Yes. And qaphela ke futhi besithe lesikhathi umpriest omkhulu engena endaweni eyingcwele kangcwele.
Kulendaba yamatshe la amabili i-Urim ne-Thummim noma i-Tummim zazi kubekwa kuphi kanti kumpriest kwingubo yakhe zazikhona na ngoba uthe hayi akuwona lokho ekusemahlombe akuwona lawo matshe esicawundi iwona ekholwa efundiswa ukuthi uNkulunkulu khona ekuthumela ngako noma indicate ngawo lamatshe. Ngicela ukubuza ukuthi ngempela ayekuphi kanti nomsebenzi wawo lawo matshe?
Lana bengicabanga ukuthi mina yilamatshe uzoba inasane Thummim le kwe-Urim le or vice versa. That's what I thought until I read the Bible. Lithi iBhayibheli no lana lamatshe omabili kumele abhale amagama ezizwe eziyishumi nambili, 6 on this side and 6 on this side. Akufake lokhu kwi-gold plate kube lapha emahlombe uspecifying kwase kuthiwa ke le breast breastplate le ndawo nyani uyayibona engiyikhombayo uyayibona
Yebo,
indawo
ngiyayibona leyo ndawo.
engiyikhombayo le
Ngiyayibona
ndawo
lapha
i-breastplate
esifubeni.
esifubeni sakhe
Yeah.
ibizwa kuthiwa futhi elinye igama layo is a decision plate yize inalamatshe ayishumi nambili 4 times 3 alright yize kukhona izizwe eziyishumi nasanda izizwe ezine za Israel but le breastplate seyonke yayibizwa kuthiwa is a decision plate ila baphinde kuthiwa khona i-Urim and Thummim. That means okuzovela on that one mhlambe elilodwa lalamanje lazokhanya ichaza ukuthi positive okanye uvela icloud kuyona evela ichaza ukuthi is negative. I'm not too sure ngoba akuspecifiywanga eBhayibhelini. Now that's why we would need
Kuyezwakala futhi egcineni lamatshe ayekhona na ayiba kuphi ngoba ngiyabona la uchaze ngawo lawa semahlombe futhi akuwona ama Urim Thummim.
no akusiyona ama-Urim and Thummim lawo.
Oh,
And it would have made sense ukuthi kube kungama-Urim and Thummim la but ikhonjwe la and kuphi na lana we are not told.
pho vele
And
lamatshe
ekufundeni
akhona
kwami
kwanhlobo
ayekhona manje ngokufunda kwami kuthiwe agcina ukusetshenziswa mhlazana bebuya ekudingisweni kwaseBabylon.
Babylon.
Yes. Aphindanga asetshenziswa after that. Maybe that is a reason why une-information too scanty kangaka about them.
Ngiyabonga. Hayi. Ngiyabonga.
Umfundisi ngisacela ukubuza la kule nto kade siyifundayo ukuthi sithe lezi insimbi uma ngabe seyikhala kakhulu sezi-indicator mhlambe ukuba seduzane kokubuya kumpristi wethu omkhulu. Ngidideka la ekuthenini njengamanje yes ziyakhala kwenzeka konke kodwa sisekhona lethuba lokuthi uyakwazi ukujikijela kumpristi wakho omkhulu izono akwazi futhi ukuthi ayithathe akuhambisele noma akuxolisele zona. Kusho ukuthi angazi noma ngifuna ukuthi ayizukuphela in the period noma izophela kanjani nini ngoba at that time wathi uma usengenile akasathathi lutho. So njengamanje usengenile kodwa still usathatha uma ngabe sijikijela. So ngazi ngifuna ukubeka kahle kabi kanjani ukuthi thina we still have leyo chance yokujikijela kodwa futhi sithi insimbi seyikhalela ukuthi useseduzane ukubuya. So when do we stop ukulahlela kuye?
Usakhumbula sisencwadini yesambuli. Chapter 8.
Lalela mfundisi.
When he opened the seventh seal, verse 1 chapter 8, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. State trumpet konje ichaza ukuthini?
I-warning.
Warning. Uyiphinda kangaki le warning? 7 times. Mawukhumbula kahle when we were talking about lesi sifundo sasithe yize ekushawa lama trumpets kuba khona izinto ezenzakalayo nokuhlukumezeka kubantu ubesalindele ukuthi akube khona umuntu ozophenduka